Hey, it's Catherine with SafeTechie.com. So now that you have all your settings in place, your kids have been using your devices, and maybe a few days have gone by and you're thinking, okay, let's figure out how to actually see what's been monitored, what's been blocked, what's going on the Clean Router. So to do that, you're going to go to the Clean Router settings page. And so let's go ahead and go to www.cleanrouter.com. And again, you could bookmark the page I'm going to show you, or you could do this. You could go to cleanrouter.com and then you could go to My Settings. You could also just set a bookmark for this website right here, local.cleanrouter.com/login.php. So once you get here, you have to be attached to your Clean Router to get to this site for this to work like this. Because what it's doing is that it's actually recognizing that you're on a computer that's on the Wi-Fi for your Clean Router, and then it's just using your password to connect. And so you couldn't do this down the street or at work. You'd have to be at home connected to your Clean Router to do this. And then you would just enter in your password. And this is the admin password. So remember in the last video, we had an admin password and a bypass to actually get through blocked sites. This is the admin password. And then once you're in, you're going to see your internet. So filter status, filter being the Clean Router, it's ready to go. So everything is turned on and working the correct way. If you wanted to, you could temporarily turn this off, and that would stop any of the blocking or monitoring. I would highly not recommend that. Just keep it on. And the three main sections we're going to go through in this video are the sites that are being blocked, the sites that are visited, and then the email to report. So sites being blocked, any site that's blocked on the Clean Router is going to show up here separately. And these would be anything that the Clean Router recognized might be an inappropriate site. So for example, given my filtering settings that I have, this Sports Illustrated site was blocked. And when I look at this, it's going to show me an IP address. So there's a couple ways to do this. What I recommend one of the easiest ways in my opinion is if you're using Chrome, so this is a Chrome website, a Chrome web browser, you can actually export this as an Excel file. So Chrome, there's Internet Explorer, there's Firefox, there's Chrome. I prefer using Chrome. You can just come in here, you can search all the sites that have been blocked, and then you could export it. So there's two different ways to do this. One is to export it. So if you just had a ton of websites and you were trying to actually look at them, you could export it as an Excel, and then you could actually view it as a whole list, and you could sort it if you wanted to, if you are comfortable with using Excel. Another way is you just look at it directly in the web browser. And so what you could do is say, okay, this is .55, and this is currently, they're working through ways, Clean Router's working through ways to make this a little bit easier process. But as of right now, because computers talk in numbers, computers talk in IP addresses, this gets filtered by the IP address. And so you just have to go look up who that actual number refers to. And that's easy. You just come down here. So let's just look at this. It says .55. So if you're going to come down here and you're going to go to that DHCP clients, and that's the only thing down here that you'll use really. You just click on DHCP clients and you're going to find .55, and then you'll see the name. And so again, because computers talk in numbers, that's what the blocked list, the sites blocked will show, and the sites visited will do that as well. But for us humans, we actually want to go figure out who that number is. You would go to the DHCP clients and you would say, okay, that number refers to this iPhone. And now okay, that's who visited that website. So if you go back to sites blocked, you could pick a different day, you could sort it in different ways, or you could just end there and say, okay, you know what, I see the sites that are blocked, I understand why they were blocked, or now you have an opportunity to go discuss with that individual user, whoever owns that device, what this is and why that site was visited. The sites visited can also be helpful. So this is just a list of all sites that are visited. It's a little bit harder to navigate just because it's any site that was visited on the Clean Router. Again, it does show you information. So if you see a website, you can hit this little plus. You'll still see the individual computer that went there and then the individual websites that were visited. This would also be important because if you're deciding to take more of a monitoring approach, you've decided to not block as much, maybe you take all of your categories and you turn them off, maybe you take your filter level and you make it super relaxed. Well, you're not really going to see anything under sites blocked. You're going to come here and you're going to get a warning that says, nothing's being blocked today. And so the only way that you'd be able to know what type of activity is being looked at would be to go to sites visited, and you'd see a list of all the different sites that were visited. And the last item for filter information is this emailed report. This is a great function because it's going to send you an email. Either one, it's going to send you a daily email for what sites were visited. And so you would just click here and you could see a list of everything that's been visited and blocked for that day. And so on this email list, you would add maybe your mom and dad, the email address for each of them, or a family email address that you actually want the report sent to. The bypass alert, similar, is anytime something is bypassed. So let's say you decide to give your children, let's say you go to bypass password, you set a different password than your admin password, and then sites were being bypassed, then you would get an email that said, this is a site that was recently bypassed, and this is who was trying to visit it. Again, anytime you make changes on each of these sites, just remember to hit save down here on the bottom right-hand corner. And that's it for everyday use. So initially when you get the Clean Router, it takes a little bit just learning the different features that it has. You decide, do you want it to be strict control, strict monitoring, or do you want it to be a little bit more relaxed? Once you have those initial settings in place, then you just decide, okay, well, for starters, you could just send yourself a daily email and not really come in here again, or at least very frequently. Or you could say, I don't really want the daily email, but I want the flexibility once a month to come in here and just kind of skim through a couple of days a month and see if you see anything suspicious. So if you have any questions, contact us at safetechie.com or contact Clean Router. We're happy to help with any of the problems or any of the suggestions that you would have for Clean Router. And as always, thank you for taking the steps to be one step closer to safer technologies, smarter kids, and stronger families.